It's Week 6 of the National Football League.
And coming up, we'll see the dynamic Alvin Kamara.
He really helped drive them a week ago with a 3-touchdown game. It's the Bills and the Chargers, and it's all up next on EA Sports.
From the second largest city in the U.S., Los Angeles, California, we've got football as EA Sports coverage of the NFL is on the air. Today we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here, as it'll be the Buffalo Bills taking on the L.A. Chargers. Hi, everybody. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Charger club entering play here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Bills, they're off to a terrific start, unbeaten at 5-0 through the first month and change.
And you can hang a lot of this early success on their defense, too. They're the tone setters for these guys, and the entire team feeds off of what they do.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30. So here's the Charger offense making their way out. And they are led out there by their mobile quarterback.
And there was a positive in last week's loss. No interceptions thrown by him. But he only threw 1 touchdown pass, and you know he wants that to improve. He might even consider that as part of the reason that they couldn't take the win last time out. I believe we'll see a more aggressive version of him this week whenever they're nearing the end zone.
They started on the ground with Eckler, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. Duggan looking to throw. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. 18 big yards on that one, and a Charger first.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
Running on first down, Eckler. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. The numbers for him from a week ago: 16 carries, 66 yards, and a touchdown.
Oh, it's a very nice winning streak that they're on, and they've really seen this offense come into its own as a unit. And one of the keys is that the ground game has been established, and it's keeping the defense honest near the line of scrimmage. Sometimes that leads to huge games for him. Other times, he plays a complementary role to someone else. But however it's getting done, they're winning week after week.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 36. A give, Eckler running to the right. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. You look at this Buffalo defense. They're in the spot statistically that you don't want to be in against the pass. Number 32 in the league, dead last.
Take those rankings, throw them right out the window, because this is what you prepare for, this is what you practice for, this is what you think about. The ultimate test, taking out the number 1.
And I think the ball's out. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Partner, everything that happened before that fumble was great. Good vision, navigated the open field, got good chunk yardage. At that point, if you see a defender coming, though, just step out of bounds. Don't risk all you picked up before the hit to just try and get an extra yard or 2.
Well, the Buffalo offense coming out, and it is Josh Allen who is at the helm.
And he's been playing at an elite level here in this early half of the season. Tops in the league in touchdown passes at this point. This is definitely a wide-open offense, so we'll see if he can keep his string of good games going right here.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he's able to skip away from that first defender on his way to a pickup of 5.
So, Charles, you look at this offense, so what a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. When do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that thought to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not quite at this time, because if we look at the Steelers in 2020, they're a great example. Remember, they started 11-0, then lost 5 and 6 and went out in the first round. I think if you get toward mid-November, the Thanksgiving time frame, and you're still doing this, that's when things start to get real for a ball club.
After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got a turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
On 2nd down, here's Allen. Working the middle here, that's complete to Knox, the tight end. That's good, the completion there for 7 yards. And it'll leave them with 3rd and a full yard to go. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And he is going to have the Bills' first down. Good work there on 4th and 1. They get 7 to move the chains.
They run it again with Kamara. Even with the good footwork, he'll be stopped just inside the 35. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
The Bills in a perfect 5-0 here to begin the campaign. And they've certainly found their groove of late. Winners of 5 in a row.
And this team is absolutely playing their best football right now. This is the best that we've seen them play in a long time, partner. Sky's the limit as far as they're concerned. They're confident.
Touchdown, Bills! Dawson Knox, his 5th touchdown now on the year.
And the Bills use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one.
One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line.
The Chargers get set to go here for their 2nd drive.
And they are a game under 500 now following the loss a week ago. And this is a team, Charles, that just has not been able to string victories together.
Yeah, they're certainly going the wrong way, aren't they? Because it looked like they had things pointing in the right direction, but now they've lost 2 straight, and that means this game is vital, extremely important, because if they fall 2 games below 500, the road back into playoff contention, awfully difficult.
You look at this Buffalo defense.
They were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
I lost count of the number of turnovers that were occurring in that game.
Did.
Right? I mean, I had a clicker going after a while. 5, 6, 7, 8. It was unbelievable. There haven't been that many turnovers or takeaways, however you want to say, in the game since the Reagan administration. This is absolutely unreal.
I was in diapers.
Pittman's first catch, good for a first down.
Up the middle with Eckler. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, this defense for the Bills, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury and having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
No, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline.
Buffalo Bills offense and Dawson Knox getting set to go again for another drive.
He's well on his way to a 1,000-yard season, maybe on pace to just tear past that, Charles. Defensively, they need to pay a little bit more attention to him?
Yeah, I think so, because remember, throwing the football, that can shred a defense quicker than anything else, because as soon as the catch is made, he still has the ability to, yards after catch, get downfield, gain even more, score touchdowns, all of that. This is going to be a lot of fun to watch as this progresses, to see how they defend him and how he changes up his game in order to try and keep getting open.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Oh, felt like that move deserved more than he got there. A gain of 2. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Bills with the football as we start quarter number 2. As they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. Here's Allen. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Allen Lazard, his first touchdown on the year.
And the Bills go up by 2 touchdowns. Well, this has been a flawless start for them. They score, they get the stop, and they score again, Charles.
Complimentary football at its finest. You've just mentioned how they got it done. They scored. The defense got the ball back for them. They score again. That's the way you win ball games.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay.
Duggan will look to throw this.
That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. To throw is Duggan.
And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
This will be taken at the 10. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. On first down, Allen. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give them a short yardage situation here for second down. Powerful running. Fights through at the 5. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 40.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Now Allen. That's DK Metcalf running the slant. He's got it. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. The Bills' passing game getting them down the field. They've got another first down.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
Oh, it stays up. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second. Kamara up the middle. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
When a drive goes this long, you have to give a lot of credit to the guys up front, those big fellas, because the offensive line is putting something together that allows them to continue to control the ball. And I know a lot of people think they get fatigued on a long drive. Actually, a lot of times the reverse happens. They actually get energized because they're controlling the ball, and they're the ones dictating to the defense.
And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23. The kick by Elliott is good, and the Bills will add on to their lead.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. L.A. readies for its next possession.
And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Here's Duggan to throw.
This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Good, sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
That one into the hands of Kane. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to.
And they take him down. The Bills get to him.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he coughed it up. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
We know he's got the speed to get downfield, Charles, but there's the negative side. A little loose with the football that time.
And that's normal, especially when you have his type of talent, because you feel like you're into the open field. and maybe you don't feel the people who are around you or closing in. All quarterbacks have to do extra ball security drills with the way the game's played now, because defenses, they attack the football as much as they attack the runner.
Wide open receiver, complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Now Allen. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. DK Metcalf. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Bills are able to add on to their first half lead. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here, because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be a possession where they come up with an answer, because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
A 6-yard pass on back-to-back plays. Picks up the first. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series.
And he can't escape, and down he goes. Chase Young make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Tre'Davious White with a pick. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going, because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work.
And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown.
Alvin Kamara hitting double digits with his 10th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bills will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. So that's now 10 touchdowns for him on the year. He's into double figures, and we're not even to the halfway point of the season yet.
Partner, doesn't it speak to how well he works with this offensive line? They know he doesn't need a giant alley to run through. He just needs a little seam. And he's so good at being patient, waiting for things to develop, and then accelerating when it does appear.
And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. The Chargers going to take over now late in this first half. Things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half.
They'll roll it. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. He takes this to the 15. A flashy juke. That got him a couple extra yards.
47 yards on the ground for him so far. Now 2nd and 3.
Throwing now is Allen. Touchdown! Darius Slayton as the first half is winding down.
And the Bills will extend their lead here just before halftime.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Elliott good with a PAT, and the route is on here in this first half.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
The Charger drive about to get going.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 24-yard line.
So we've reached halftime with the visiting Bills taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll get started down at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Devon Achane, a touchdown run in the victory. From there, we take the long trip across the country, about as far as you can go. Check on the Seahawks in Seattle. And you can see, currently they trail in that ball game. Teddy Bridgewater has thrown a touchdown pass. Finally, we finish at MetLife Stadium to see what's going on with the Jets. And they fall in that one to the visiting Indianapolis Colts. Anthony Richardson leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. We just watched a solid first half from the veteran running back, Alvin Kamara. He wound up finding the end zone on a touchdown run to help give his guys the advantage here at the break. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang at Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3.
Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. Now Hunt on the return.
And he won't quite make it to the 25.
So here are the Bills to take over. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Throwing to start the drive. Allen.
And that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete. 2nd and 10.
On the counter, here's Kamara. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard.
And he's going to have a Bills first down as the tackle made just shy of the 40.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. And now nothing but green ahead of him.
Inside the 10.
And all the way home for a Bills touchdown.
Alvin Kamara
with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year.
And the Bills just continue to roll.
I know I should keep the focus and the spotlight on the hero that just scored, but tackling's been an issue for this defense all game long. I can't set that aside. We just saw it again here. Missed tackles leads to his long touchdown run.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. Duggan. For Keenan Allen, that's complete. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Throwing. Duggan. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Chase Young able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive under pressure, they got him again. Chase Young drops him again for the 2nd straight play, and it brings up 4th down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. A nice punt, but a good run back as well, 13 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
And he's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just kind of have a grin on his face every time his number is called, because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays, nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. Credit the sack to Joey Bosa. The Bills send the punter out. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the 1st. Duggan now to throw. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. He's up over 100 yards, and he'll be looking to get in the end zone again.
Has a tremendous nose for it, doesn't he? The ability to pile up yardage and find the end zone, that's the combination you want in your runner.
That's a combination any coach wants, and we'll see if he can find that end zone once more.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd and manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
Flush to his right. Josh Allen, very athletic at 6'5", showing the versatility, picking up the first on the scramble.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
To the air, Allen. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not too many missteps in the red zone thus far. He was going for his 5th touchdown pass. His man couldn't shake free there, but boy, you know he's going to take another shot before this one's over.
Yeah, exactly, because you know 3 is good, 4 is excellent. You get 5, that's a whale of a game. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Well, after watching him ring the bell that many times and put the ball in the end zone throwing it, you had to figure they had to bring some type of pressure. They had to change things up on defense.
And able to get to him, put him on the ground, so maybe just something to throw him off a little bit.
Yeah, that had to feel a lot better for the defensive guys. They've been getting carved up in this one. To finally knock him on the ground and force an incompletion, that's got to be a sigh of relief.
He will find Diggs in the end zone. Touchdown, Buffalo.
Stephon Diggs with career touchdown number 176, moving him past Emmitt Smith and into 2nd place all time.
And the Bills are pouring it on.
Elliott on for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So this drive spans 7 plays.
And it's finished off by the touchdown by Stephon Diggs.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line.
Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field.
It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves.
Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Dugan, nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And they'll have a short field to work with inside the 15 at the 13-yard line. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that 6th sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point.
And he's got his tight end Knox for a Bills touchdown.
A great play there. A beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game.
And the Bills get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Well, just looking at the scoreboard and where we're at in the third quarter, I don't know that it's going to matter much at this point, CD, but these small runs on the ground, they're not going to get it done.
No, they're not, and right now, the guys stopping the run have been superior in this ball.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
Well, offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now fourth down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. One, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But two, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. He's got the hook up with Diggs. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards.
The partner is still in the third quarter, but they've got this one well in hand and still airing it out with gusto and picking up some nice gains.
And even in lopsided games like this, you don't really see starters get lifted or the foot come off the gas before the fourth quarter. No one wants to leave any doubt when they're playing well. They just want to continue the process. Well, that wasn't a completion, but it wasn't a sack either. So the good takeaway, able to extend the life of the play. Normally you would think he'd just take off and run downfield, but he was trying to find an open receiver, unable to do so.
On third down, here's Kamara. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter of play. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Back now at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood.
And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. The kick by Elliott is good. And the Bills will add on to their lead.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line.
Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. On 1st and 10, Dugan. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
On 2nd and 10, Duggan. And then he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
Tyus Bowser blowing that play up.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's come together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. This offense so far on third down, they've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 5. Escaping the pressure right. And he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds, well shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack. The Bills send the punter out, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. Great coverage there, holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over.
The Chargers ready to take over. Facing a big fourth-quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front 7 today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved. One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Dugan. And it's out. He put it on the carpet. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And they pick up the first down there with a gain of 4. Again, it's Kamara. That's a strong running. And down inside the 15 he goes.
144 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game. There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Now Kamara. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. The left side caught by Diggs. It'll be a gain of 5. And now that sets up 3rd and 2.
They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Bills' drive stalls out on 4th down. And the Charger defense stands tall, and they get the football back. The Charger drive about to get going.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory. but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. Just too much to handle on the other side in this one. Tyus Bowser picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
After the sack, here's 2nd and 11.
Operating from the gun, Dugan. And it's a fumble. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Okay, this isn't one where you want to take the game tape and hold it up as an example, do you? I mean, you talk about frustrating all the way through. And that last error, I think that crystallizes it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's been representative of their entire game still being shut out.
And meanwhile, Allen's throw here on target to Hurst. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it's 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Now a 2nd and 6. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara.
And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line, because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Now Jake Elliott for the field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. The kick by Elliott is good. And the Bills will add on to their lead. So they got the turnover, started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. The goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
The Charger offense making their way back out there. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Ed Oliver getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. 3rd and 12. Duggan looking to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is taken at about the 14. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, they don't need to score here, that's for sure. They could just kneel it. They've got the huge lead late 4th quarter, but we'll see how they're feeling, Charles.
Yeah, we all know people out there who like to use every second of the clock, no matter what the score. And we know they don't need the points. They've scored in abundance already. Let's find out how they want to finish this ball game.
It's caught inside the 25.
A big play here for Buffalo. 41 yards. For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Well, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer to that, but that was the story from the get-go. One side was awake and ready, and the other just seemed to sleep.
So for the Bills, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.